Hey guys, and welcome back for another short mobility flow. This session is going to focus on your hips and your shoulders. You're going to need a strap if you have one, an item of clothing, PVC pipe, belt, scarf can also suffice, or if you don't, then you can simply just do arm circles and improvise without. Other than that, you're not going to need anything else at all, so come and join me finding a space on the floor or grab a mat if you have one and join me in Tadasana. Hey guys! Oh,
But they end up being my busiest days, so yeah.
morning!
Morning, how are you?
How are you girls?
Good, thanks.
It's becoming like the morning crew, this, isn't it? It's nice. Brilliant. We've got just a few more minutes before before we start. If you have a strap to hand, go and grab that. This one is going to focus on your hips and your shoulders today. I'm hoping this weather clears up today. It's so wet and ugh.
I know.
Fed up with it.
Can't wait. It's either freezing cold or it's wet and slightly warmer.
Yeah, I guess we have to go through the kind of wet bit to get to the warm, but we should just hurry up and dry out. It can be cold or hot, but just not wet. Did
the OB dry off okay after yesterday?
Yeah, we went again later in the afternoon, and another friend joined us. We were walking naughtily as a group of three, socially distanced, of course. But it's a small, so they're all part of the gym, and we all see each other individually anyway. So I'm like, well, what difference does it make if he's seen him today and then he sees me half hour later, and then I've seen him yesterday or whatever. But yeah, they've got Marcel, which is a boxer dog, and Marcel like tackles Obi. It's really funny. He's got these like long front legs that he just doesn't know what to do with, and he like bounds up and then he like launches out and wraps his arms around him. And then he also, Obi like had him by the like jowls at one point, just play fighting. And he got rid of him, shook him off, and then he came back and he kind of like boxed him. He was like pop pop with his paws. But I was like, is that why they call them boxers? Or no, it's so funny watching them play. It's hilarious, but a little bit rough, but hilarious. Right, it is bang on 7 o'clock, so I will spotlight myself so you guys can see me. Put myself on gallery and mute you girls. Mute. Oh, there we go. Cool. Okay. So, if you come to the centre of your mat, let me just get rid of that window so I can actually see, and grab a hold of your strap to start with. So join me in the centre of your mats, grab a hold of your strap. We're going to wrap one arm around, you know the drill by now, we're doing those overhead pass-throughs. So grabbing a hold of one end, wrapping the strap around one hand, and then grabbing a hold of the other end. You're going to bring the strap just roughly hip distance with quite a wide grip to start, and then you're going to lift the strap all the way up and over your head, back behind you, tapping behind you on your lower back, and then lifting over. Careful not to let the ribs flare out as you do this. Try and keep those ribs glued down towards your pelvis and that tailbone tucked under. So no arching of the back as you go over to make it easy, that's cheating. So as you do a few pass-throughs, you might find that your shoulders become a little bit more loose and supple, and in which case you can just either do half a strap wrap again, or just narrow your grip slightly. If you haven't got a strap, then go ahead and do those arm circles if you're watching this later. And we're just going to do 3 more each way. You should be definitely feeling this in the shoulders by now. Last one. And then you can go ahead and release your hand from that strap, put it to one side. You're not going to need it again unless you need it for assistance. From here, we're going to inhale to lift one arm up, reaching up tall, find that stretch in the side body, and then exhale as you reach all the way over to the opposite side. Inhale back to center, switching over the arms. Exhale as you reach over to the other side. So we're going to do 5 arm rotations in each direction. Just move with your own breath. Figure out where that point of resistance is, that stretches, work within that. Ease the body gently into it. So you shouldn't feel any pain, but you should be feeling slightly uncomfortable at the end of that reach. Last one each side. And then from here, we're going to come back to center, taking the arms out wide in a T-shaped position. We're going to wrap and twist as we look behind us, letting the arms just fall, top of the shoulder, hitting the lower back roughly where the kidney is. Think about lifting and lengthening as you come through that midline. And we're aiming for about 5 or 6 rotations each side. So after this one more each side. And then come all the way back to center. Set yourself up in your nice Tadasana position with your feet hip distance apart. Inhale as you lift and reach up above, extended Tadasana, bend at the knees, hinge at the hips, and come all the way down into your Uttanasana ragdoll position as you exhale. Opposite hand goes to opposite elbow. Draw the chest across the thighs, crown of the head towards the floor. So if you need to bend the knees more, feel free. You should feel this in your hamstrings, your hips, your glutes, your lower back. Feel that stretch. You can rock from side to side. Just take a few deep breaths. With every exhale, see if you can fold a little bit deeper. With every inhale, see if you can find more length in that spine as you draw the chest across the thighs further. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale, release the hands to the floor. As you inhale, you're going to lift the heels, coming into a crouch position. So tuck the knees in towards the chest, tuck the nose towards the knees. Find that crouch position, and as we exhale, we're going to push up into that forward fold. So really feel the stretch in the back of the legs as you come into that forward fold. Inhale to crouch again. Exhale to forward fold. We're going to do one more. Inhale to crouch. Exhale to forward fold. From here, take the hands on top of the feet. We're going to come to a halfway lift. So you're going to inhale as you lift the body parallel to the floor. Pull those shoulder blades back and down, pinch the shoulder blades together, and find a nice flat back position as you send the hips back, straighten the legs so you feel some tension in the back of the hamstrings. As you exhale, melt forwards again, relax, and then inhale to lift, sending the hips back, finding that tension, squeezing those shoulders. Exhale to melt. Last one, inhale to lift. Exhale to melt. Plant the hands on the floor and just slowly walk the feet all the way back to your down facing dog position. From here, think about spreading the fingers, gripping the mat through the hands correctly, pressing the head through the arms, pulling those shoulder blades apart, maybe taking a bend in the knees to begin with as you stretch the tailbone towards the ceiling and find a nice, long, flat, neutral spine. From here, you might want to just pulse through the shoulders, maybe 5 or 6 times. And then once you've done a few pulses through your shoulders, you can start to ease into the legs, pedaling, alternating foot, heel to the floor. Finding that stretch in the calf, the ankles, the feet, the hamstrings and the hips, of course. Couple more pedals on each side. And then just come to still with the feet. From here, we're going to inhale as we lift and lengthen, pointing that tailbone towards the sky. Exhale, push the heels towards the floor. See if you can press the heels down. Inhale as you release the tension off the heels, find that length again. Exhale, push the heels down. Inhale, release tension just slightly. Exhale, push the heels back down again. From here, you're then just going to take your right foot outside of your right hand into your lizard lunge. So option to do this in a high lunge or option to take the knee to the floor, whatever you prefer. Reach the heart forwards, find that stretch in the groin. Take a nice deep breath in as you inhale to lift and twist that arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tap that elbow to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, elbow to the floor. Last one. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, take that elbow to the floor. Replace the hand. Now with the right foot, just step it back just slightly behind the hand so you've got enough space for your elbows to go either side or in front of your shin, and lift that back knee off the floor. From here, think about reaching the heart forwards and pulsing low down. So try not to make this a strength movement. If you need to support your body weight with your knee, you can. Reach the heart forwards and pulse down, and then lift up, pulse down, lift up. So wherever you need to be, knee on the floor or not, you're just going to pulse a few times, getting deeper into that groin as you lower the chest to the floor. Last one. And then come back up to that regular lizard lunge, step back to down facing dog. Pedal out the feet for just a few breaths, and then we're going to repeat that on the other side. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then left foot comes outside of left hand into your lizard lunge position. Dropping the back knee to the floor to begin with, reaching that heart forwards, finding that stretch inside that hip. Take a nice deep breath all the way in. Exhale. And then we're going to inhale as we lift and twist. Reaching up high with that hand. Exhale, elbow to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist. Exhale, elbow to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist one last time. Exhale, elbow to the floor. Replace the hand to the floor. Shuffle that foot back just slightly behind the hand so the elbow can go in front of the shin, and lift that back knee off the floor if you wish. From here, we're going back to those presses. So sending the heart forwards, lowering the body to the ground, increasing that stretch in that hip, that groin. And we're just aiming for 5 or 6 pulses on each side again. Last one. And then step back to your down facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Open up the hips, the calves, the hamstrings. Take a few deep breaths. And then we'll take a body flow. So inhale as you roll forwards, drop the hips, look up. Come to Cobra or Sphinx. If you need to lower yourself down, you're more than welcome. Press the ground away, pull the shoulder blades back and down, and think about squeezing through the glutes and the inner thighs, pointing the toes so your legs are active and supporting your lower back in this position. From here, just rock from side to side, open up that hips and front body a little bit further. And then as we exhale, we're going to come back to heart melting pose. So hands are going to stay where they are, and you're going to think about bringing the chest towards the floor or the head towards the floor as you open up into those shoulders. Take a few deep breaths, pull back into the hips, stretch out those underarms. Last deep breath all the way in. Exhale, and then slowly come all the way back up. Tuck the toes and press back to your down facing dog. From here, you're going to take right foot outside of right hand, back to that lizard lunge, dropping the back knee to the floor. Take a moment there to just inhale to lift and reach. Exhale, sink deeper. And then this time we're going to inhale to lift and twist, reaching back, right hand to left foot, bringing that heel in towards your glute, maybe pulsing it a few times. You can use a strap if you need to. And then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Replace the hand, step back to down facing dog and switch sides. So left foot comes outside of left hand. Drop the back knee to the floor, reach the heart forwards. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. And then inhale as you lift and twist. Left hand goes back to right foot, bringing that heel in towards the glute. Pulse it a few times, using a strap again if you need to hook that foot and bring it in. And then hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Step back to your down facing dog and then walk the hands all the way to the back of the mat, finding your Uttanasana forward fold. Find that stretch in the back of the hamstrings, the glutes and the hips and the lower back maybe. Just take a moment there and then heel toe your feet out to the edges of the mat. Find your squat stance. From here, you're going to inhale as you lift all the way up, extended Tadasana, palms together at the top. And as you exhale, you're going to come down into your garland pose. At the bottom of your squat, think about keeping your chest nice and lifted. Don't worry if your heels don't reach the floor, if that means that your chest can stay nice and upright. If you end up slouching, then let the heels come off the floor. Use the elbows against the inner knees to press the knees apart away, and then just take a few pulses in the bottom of that garland pose. From here, we're then going to exhale as we release the left hand to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist with the right hand up towards the ceiling. And then exhale to release the right hand to the floor. Inhale to lift and twist with the left hand up towards the ceiling. We're going to do 2 more each side. So exhale to release the hand. Inhale to lift and twist. You can do this in your own time if you want to with your own breath. Just rotating from side to side. 1 more each side. And then exhale, come back to that neutral garland pose. From here, you can either stay here and just pulse up and down, or you can try a few duck walks to get deeper into the hips. So we're gonna step forwards, 2 steps, and then step back, 2 steps. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So step forwards, 2 steps, and then back, 2 steps, and then forwards, 2 steps. It's probably beginning to burn, but that's okay. We're nearly done. Back 2 steps. Come back to that garland pose. Release the hands to the floor, and then inhale as you come up. Exhale, heel toe those feet back underneath you and find your Uttanasana forward fold. From here, walk your hands further forward to the front of the mat, finding your down facing dog position. Pedal out the feet. Open up those calves, those hips, those hamstrings. And then when you're ready, we're going to drop to the knees as we exhale and sit back in that extended child's pose. Take a nice deep breath in, exhale. And then for those of you that want to, you can stay here, or we can start to work further into puppy pose. So I'm going to start with taking my bum off my heels just slightly, bringing my chin to the floor and looking for the front of the mat. If this is enough for you, then you can stay here. If you want to go further, then we'll take our chest all the way through to the floor, just making sure that those hips stay stacked above the knees as you bring that chest all the way down. Take 3 more deep breaths wherever you're at. Exhale completely after that 3rd deep breath, and then slowly inhale as you come back up to down facing dog. Tucking the toes and pressing back to that down facing dog. Pedal the feet out just again for a few more breaths, and then we're going to come into our pigeon pose. So we're going to inhale as we lift our left leg up high to the sky, 3-leg down facing dog. Bend at the knee, take a little hip twist, play with that hip flexor stretch, and then when you're ready, swing the leg through, bringing the knee to the front of the mat at a 45-degree angle, sliding the right leg back and coming into that nice upright pigeon pose. So if you need to, make sure your hips are level. You can use a block or a cushion to support. Take a nice deep breath in as you press the ground away, and then as you exhale, melt forwards over that front leg, and just take 2 more deep breaths. Exhale completely, and then slowly come back to that down facing dog and scissor the legs over. So we're going to step back, to down facing dog, and then step through. So you can send that leg, right leg high to the sky, play with that hip twist. So that does feel quite nice, don't miss it out. And then come all the way through with that knee to the front corner of the mat at a 45-degree angle. Set yourself up in that nice level hip position. So hip bone to knee, sit bone to floor, use a block or pillow if you need to. Inhale as you press the ground away, finding that stretch in the left hip flexor. And then exhale as you melt forwards over that front leg. Again, take 2 more deep breaths. Exhale completely. And then slowly press back up into that down facing dog. Step back to down facing dog, pedal out the feet. And then we're going to come back down to our knees and sit back in extended child's pose one last time. So taking the forehead to the floor this time, take a nice deep breath in, find that expansion across the upper back as you inhale. Exhale. And then on the next inhale, find that expansion again. And as you exhale, walk the hands all the way over to the left, finding that stretch in the right side body. Take 2 deep breaths. And then slowly inhale, walking the hands all the way back to center. And then walking the hands as you exhale all the way over to the right. Find that stretch in the left side body. Take 2 more deep breaths. Slowly walk the hands back to center on your next inhale and come all the way up to a seated position on your mat. We're going to come into hero pose. So taking the feet out, you can stay on your heels or you can take your feet out to the side and shuffle your bum all the way down to the floor. We're then going to take with the arms, left arm underneath the right, crossing at the elbows, wrapping the hands together, coming into eagle arms. See if you can grab a hold of the hands, and then when you're ready, inhale to lift. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale and then switch sides. So right arm under left, cross at the elbows, wrap the hands. Inhale to lift. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. Shake it all out, and then we'll just slowly come around to a seated position and come onto our backs for one more final stretch. So coming all the way down onto your backs, taking the legs out long and the arms out to the side in a T-shaped position, palms facing down. You're going to inhale to lift the right leg up towards the ceiling, bending at the knee at a 90-degree angle, and then taking the left hand over to the outside of that right knee and then bringing that right knee across the body as you try and keep the right shoulder glued to the floor. Take your head to look in the opposite direction of your knee and just hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale as you release the leg to the floor and then switch sides. So left leg comes up, bending the knee at a 90-degree angle. Right hand comes over to the outside of the left knee and then pulls that knee across the body towards the right. Inhale to lift and twist your head to look towards the left. And again, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale to bring both legs back to center and lift the knees in towards your chest. Hug them with both arms. Rock from side to side. Massage that lower back. And then whenever you're ready, we'll roll over onto the right side of our body and come all the way up to seated. Joining me in the center of your mats for one final deep inhale as we lift the hands up above the head, palms together. And as we exhale to the forehead, kind thoughts. To the lips, kind words. To the heart, kind feelings. Namaste.